We now have more African Americans under criminal supervision in America than all the slaves in 1865. So the first step to getting to justice is knowledge. Learn about the issue and let people know how deeply offensive this is to the ideals of our country.
After interviewing some of my friends from Gateways and hearing about their experiences with the prison system, I went to DC to get another perspective on the topic. I sat down with Cory Booker, a senator from New Jersey who has dedicated much of his career to criminal justice reform.
Where's the food? I thought there's something I thought you guys were gonna come. I'm like, my staff tells me Soul Pancake is gonna be here.
Oh my
I'm like,
gosh.
there's gonna be some good pancakes.
National Pancake Day. We'll send you some pancakes.
Vegan pancakes.
pancakes,
I'm a
of
vegan.
course.
Are you a vegan?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Depends on the day.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
So I want to talk to you about how you think we can incorporate more education into the prison system, because as we've uploaded these videos, the questions have kind of been split down the middle. People are commenting, oh, I'm so glad these guys are getting education that they wouldn't have gotten before. Or they're like, what the heck, why are my tax dollars going to prisoners getting education? So what do you have to say about that?
Right, and I'll answer that. I just want to say one thing. One of the best ways to deal with this problem is not letting so many people go to prison in the first place. And we are a nation that has seen our prison population explode 500% since 1980 alone. And we're just churning more and more people into this system. Now you put folks in there and you deny them educational access, you actually are hurting them for when they come out, not helping them to stay out of incarceration. So if you're really worried about your tax dollars, one of the best tax dollars you can spend is a tax dollar spent on educating somebody while they're in incarceration, because that education helps to lower recidivism rates and lower the expense of having somebody being rearrested, retried, and ultimately reincarcerated.
I'm here because I took a college class that was inside a juvenile detention facility.
And where'd you go to college?
I went to Evergreen State in Washington. So
right.
I was learning alongside guys that were locked up that were my age. And the first thing that I connected with these guys over was music. And we were talking about like old school R&B and hip hop. But what really struck me was that I could tell when they were booked based on where their knowledge of contemporary music stopped. They would say something about how the last Kendrick Lamar album they heard was To Pimp a Butterfly, and I would be like, well dang, he's had a bunch of albums since then, and it really shook me, and it made me realize that these guys are like frozen in time in a way that I'm not. And so that's when I became really interested in this. So I'm wondering if you have a specific moment or instance that really made all of the data just become really real for you.
Well, I think for me, I was running for city council in Newark, New Jersey. I was going up and down in high-rise public housing projects. What just blew me away is household after household after household, how many people were talking about what the criminal justice system had done to their lives. And often it would be people who got an arrest for a nonviolent drug charge.
Yeah.
Once you have a drug crime, then you have a lifetime sentence. You may get out of prison, but for the rest of your life, you can't get a job because you're checking a box.
What about the people that don't really care to know and think if you've committed a crime, you deserve to be locked up? And I've got more important things to care about, like paying back student loans or healthcare. Some people just don't think it's a problem.
Well, if you are in this country and you cannot care about your fellow man and woman, if you think that, oh, this isn't affecting my life, that's not the history of this country. Whether it's the civil rights movement, the workers' rights movement, the environmental movement, all of these movements understood fundamentally that we're all in this together. And an injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And so we should be compelled by that kind of compassion. If you're one of those selfish people that doesn't think that this is affecting you, you're absolutely wrong. The very ideals of this country, liberty, of justice for all, Declaration of Independence ends with this ideal that we must mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. What have you done to make more justice for everybody? So I have very little patience, unfortunately, for people that can't recognize this. And by the way, people think we still have trials in America. The reality is 98% of criminal convictions are handled not with trials, but plea bargains. So get motivated on this issue, get educated on this issue, and speak out. Alice Walker said the most common way people give up their power is not realizing they have it in the first place. The opposite of justice is not injustice, it's inaction, it's indifference, it's silence.
What about the people that don't have the platforms that we do? How can they get involved with this other than voting? I know that you're going to say we should vote, but even if we do, there's like 300 something other days of the year. So what can people do if they want to change
justice is at the other end of a continuum. continuum. So the first step to getting to justice is knowledge.
Yeah.
The next step, you can't have empathy if you don't have knowledge. Once you have empathy, then you need action, doing something, which you're asking me. And then once you get action, you get justice. The best way to influence people, it's actually friends talking to friends. So if you're using your social media only for trivialities, then you're not being an advocate for justice. And so if you say, I'm going to be consistent once a week posting about this issue, I'm going to get folk woke and hopefully get some action done. I just forget millennials. Anybody who is young,
Yeah.
every generation of youth are usually at the center of great justice movements all around the planet Earth.
Yeah.
And so you decide, what am I going to do? Am I going to be a spectator, or am I going to be a participant? Am I going to be sitting back watching the world, or am I going to be one of those people finding ways every day to challenge the world? Because we have one choice to make every day of our lives. In fact, every hour of our lives. We accept things as they are, or we take some responsibility for changing them.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank
This is
you.
so awesome.
You are awesome. Stick around. Why are you going to leave Washington? Stay here.
Oh my gosh,
Get an
I
agent. You can
wish.
leave my office. Go down the street. Talk to the president. Demand some change. I'll be right next to you.
My wingman.
I will be your wingman.
Awesome.
All right. Now, thank you very much. This is so important. I'm grateful for you
Thank you so
having
much.
this conversation with me.